Okay, so yesterday, on the live stream at midnight, right? I was showing y'all why I started going down the deep dive of the channel of fucking Only Human. And it's because the titles are all golden. They're all insane. Actually, you see what I'm on, subscribing right now. And this was one of the top titles. The next one we go watch tomorrow is the girl who let SpongeBob take over her, like she's addicted to SpongeBob and shit. Let me know if my mic volume straight, cause I know I've been fucking up with my mic volume back to back on streams. Like I just been getting by on the pauses that's been holding us down. But I try. I think I got it today. But yeah, this is one of the titles that got me. I think my dad is faking his amnesia. What about the amnesia do you think is fake? Like, do you think he just remember everything and he using it to his advantage, to where like he could forget your birthday and shit fly? Like he could just act like he don't know people. That's crazy. We gotta dive into it. We gotta dive into it. See what it's like. See what his hair like. This is an hour and 21 documentary, so it's probably gonna be like a quick 3-hour stream. You know what I'm saying?
Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, this is just the intro. I'm like, what the fuck? The paper was golden. What medieval times?
Oh, not tobacco. Sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the
It's
world
kinda
might turn out.
Nah, I can't deal with no intros like that. What did it say? That shit was about to matter. If you're fun, damn. Does he? Nah, I see your dad. You gotta look out for him.
1 week after my college graduation, my dad got in a car accident and lost his memory.
Damn, that's tough.
For the past 16 years, Dad's amnesia has haunted my family. But we've never been able to talk about it. Until now. All this time I've been living abroad and rarely saw him.
Yeah, that's even
A few
more
years
stressful.
ago, I asked Dad why his memory still hadn't returned. He replied, "I'm the new Richard now. Not Dad, like you keep calling me."
Wait, what? So he asked his dad, why after 16 years your memory hasn't come back? And he said he's the new... Hold up. May last up to 1 week. In rare cases, last for months. From dementia is often uncurable. So like it's saying in the most severe cases, months. Like plural. Maybe 3 at max when you say months. Not 16 years. So he's saying he think his dad cap. He said he the new Richard. Stop calling me dad. Like bro said he don't got no kid. Bro said fuck them kids. So he calling cap.
Not much later, he moved away
Oh, he
and left behind a
did.
trail of unanswered questions.
Oh, that's... Nigga, we need a movie about this. Hold up. Matt Damon, where you at?
At the time of the accident, Mom and Dad had already been divorced for over a decade, and Dad was living with his second family in the small college town of Davis, not far from Sacramento.
Shit, so he dipped on a whole second family too?
We'd never been close, and I was anxious about seeing my second family again after so many years of silence.
Loretta, that's what it says behind my body.
This man was coming behind us, and He was doing probably, the police say probably about 50, 55 miles an hour. And we were almost stopped, and he slammed into the back end of us.
Damn. Just a
It
mad
was a
rear
stationary
end.
headrest, and it hit him at the base of his skull, right there, in that area. And so I don't.
So that shit hit him in the same place that Doc Ock shit fried him at. That's just a point of reference, so everybody can know where I think when I think the base of the skull. It's not. I'm not saying he got the same thing that happened to Doc Ock and went crazy, but just the same place.
I don't know what happened, but they think he might have been out for like a couple of seconds, just kind of, stunned. Your
That's
dad and I
tough.
didn't feel hurt at all, either one of us. We were just seemed to be fine. He did have a headache, but every day we went to work just like normal until the amnesia started.
So every day, bro, pulled up, and then the amnesia developed over time. I don't know if that's normal. I think that's kind of so I'm starting to question this nigga amnesia. It took a simple Google search.
Everybody said hi to him, and the boys said hi, Dad, and he just kind of looked like he wasn't feeling well to me. He just kind of stared at me and didn't say much of anything. And then eventually he said, I don't know who you are, and I don't know who I am.
Damn.
So I just kind of went, yeah, right. And just kept on doing what I was doing with the boys. And then he said, no, I don't know who I am. And I said, what do you mean you don't know who you are?
I turn around couches.
And he just kept saying, I don't know who I am. I don't know. Am I supposed to be here? And so I started telling him who he was and who the boys were and, all about ourselves and about you and Ann and Jan and everything. And he wasn't getting any of it.
What do you mean you ain't getting it? He just like, oh, I don't know what
I
that
said
means.
good
I don't
morning,
know what
and
it is.
Mom said, this is my daughter Laura and her daughter Sam. And he shook my hand, and I went on about my business and just kind of left it at that. It didn't really occur to me that this was real.
So, bro, really just woke up one day and was like, I don't know who none of y'all are. And she was like, this is, so and so and so and so. And he was like, nah, don't recall. I do not recall. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I don't know who the fuck it is. I've never met these people in my damn life. Hold on, let me be right back. I gotta grab my charger. It's lit. Back to it.
I don't remember him like being a toddler or acting like a kid. He just didn't know how to do anything, like taking a shower or shave or brushing his teeth.
Oh, he forgot.
He was very
everything.
bashful, and so I left the room and put his clothes out for him, and when he came downstairs, he was all dressed. His shirt was buttoned properly, so, he looked at his driver's license and read the name Richard on it, so he knew how to read.
Do you forget everything? Like, I thought you just forget like your immediate memory when you get amnesia. Like, but you forget everything. Like, You don't know how to read and write and drive and none of that shit. You lose it all. That's crazy. That's tough. Oh man, I didn't know
That
it was
was the
like
very
that.
first day.
I thought it was like selective shit. I didn't know it was everything. Damn, only human got me. Yeah, we on a rabbit hole in this motherfucker now.
I didn't have a clue what had happened to Dad. The news didn't reach me until 2 months later, after I'd already moved to Europe.
Oh shit, so he already.
When I saw Dad for the first time,
This nigga low key living life. Look at him. I don't know what it is about this man, but it's giving off aura of like I'm just living out here. You know what I'm saying?
he gave me a hug and said, "You must be my son, Rick. Loretta showed me a picture of you."
So how old are you
They
now?
say he must be my son. I guess he's my son.
46. 46 years old. How about you? Exactly half. Half. Oh, wow. 23.
It took me a
23.
second to do the math. I
So yeah,
feel
I'm
that.
just for now a few weeks doing, learning division arithmetic. I did that. Yeah, it's 23.
Oh, he just learned how to do math again. That's
Well,
what he saying?
I don't know why I started filming Dad back then.
no.
Somehow it was easier to hide behind my camera and see him as a film figure, and
I
not my
could feel
father,
that. I could really feel that.
who'd suddenly
Separating
become a
yourself from the person.
stranger.
Separating yourself from people with cameras and shit.
I kept searching for clues to where my old dad had gone, and how I could get him back. But instead, he just kept telling me all about the physical problems that had developed since the accident, like how he'd gone blind in his left eye, and how he's having troubles keeping his balance.
You know what it is like? It's empty. It's feeling like my head is empty.
That's so tough, bro. What do you mean pirate priest vibes? What does that mean? Pirate priest. Because he has one eye? The pirate thing? Or what's the priest?
Maybe now everybody's head is empty, I'm thinking, would feel that way.
I didn't want to believe the man who'd raised me no longer existed.
I can feel that. That's tough.
How
Like,
could all of
moving
his
it
memories
further
of our
that way.
life together vanish, just like that?
You tell somebody, yeah.
Yo, you wildin'.
He was in an
You
accident
wildin' in
and
the
he woke
chat
up a
right
week
now.
later with amnesia. And that was about 16 years ago, and he's never remembered anything. Nothing. Not a smell, not a sound, not a nothing.
Or has he?
Damn.
Don't know.
That was it or have you. Yo, is my sound straight, Ephra?
I think it's been a question in a lot of people's minds, even mine at times, things that you're sitting there talking to him, and so many people have said this before, and it's all of a sudden I'm talking to Richard again, the old Richard, and carrying on a normal, intelligent conversation and, talking about these things.
They saying it's like glimpses of this
And
nigga.
I can't even tell you
dropping
one
that
specific
act type
thing,
shit.
but just talking about things and thinking that, well, I'm talking to my husband, Oh my gosh, I'm talking to my husband again. And then all of a sudden it's like somebody said to me, like the shade came down. And then he got...
I feel like that's just like his actual personality, just like him as a person. You seeing like the old spark in him because you know who he was and like how he got down and shit. But like that's his personality. He don't remember none of the reasons that make him like that, but he just like that type shit. So like you getting kind of your hopes up for somebody who don't remember what the fuck your host would ever said at, and that's tough.
This faraway look in his eye and went back to being the new Richard.
Well,
You
how'd
know,
that
and
make
got
you
very
feel?
quiet. It made me feel very suspicious about what was going on.
She said he peeped him, dropped the act, and then fell back into the, oh well, you know, I can't do math. Okay, so it's not her getting her expectations up or her hopes up and all that shit. It's her saying this nigga slipping up because he having too much fun being like him around people type shit, and he getting caught up. Damn.
Did I say something to trigger something, or did I give him the look like, oh, it's you, you know, or what? What did I, you know, so what did I do? And all of a sudden, he was gone again.
See, this is suspicious. This is curious. Oh, he put on the Willy Wonka glasses.
Don't be afraid.
I'm afraid now. No one's ever said don't be afraid, and I stayed unafraid. Damn, no doctors ever did that shit to me.
That's what he said. He said, I can't find anything wrong with you.
Did you see all these medical records?
No, but I was always there when he talked to the doctors. I was there when they did the MRI. I was there when he was tested by both neuropsychologists. I was there when he was tested by the neurology department of Stanford.
So if there'd been any organic damage,
right,
you would have known.
Right, and being part of the court case, I mean, the attorney kept me abreast of everything that was going on, all the findings, but all the findings that I know of that were going on during the court case, nothing physical was found.
So no physical ad blocker doing God's work. Matumbo, block that out. That shit caught me off guard. That shit was like a jump scare. I'm be startled, bro. Especially with the headphones, that shit loud.
What was Loretta talking about? Dad always told me the metal bar on the headrest punctured his brainstem when a county officer rear-ended his car.
Wait. Hold up. Yo, what's good, Angelica? Wait. So this nigga capped about his injury? So I didn't even peep that. So his mom said that throughout the whole court case, she had all the medical information because she was involved in the case because she got hit in the car too. But like, none of that shit was physical. He had no physical injury. The doctor never saw nothing wrong with him. But he been telling people that the fucking metal car rest punctured his brain at the same spot that Doc Ock got his shit popped at. So he capping to his son about injuries that his mom said don't exist, like on the x-rays and shit. So, but how could he, hold up, he got amnesia. How the fuck you remember what happened in the motherfucking thing? It's starting to be a lot of holes in this mother. I'm starting to think this nigga don't got amnesia.
Car in front of the shopping center. That's what caused his amnesia. The case dragged on for 2 years until Sacramento County finally settled out of court
He
for
fool as fuck.
$325,000.
I don't trust this nigga.
Surely there must be some evidence to back Dad's claims.
What evidence, nigga? The x-ray said no.
I've never seen anything. In fact, all the evidence that I've seen leads to the contrary, that there was no physical damage.
But he's told me that stuff showed up on MRIs. Where are the MRI pictures?
I don't know. Show them to me.
Yeah, I haven't found them.
I don't know. I ain't found them shits either, you heard me? Like, a nigga that, hey man, if your mom say he cop, then he probably a cop, bro. Like, damn, that's
no.
Oh,
my mother
yeah.
had no clue.
And he got two families.
And she'll tell you that.
That's double.
She had no idea what was going on, what to do, who to call.
This nigga
Why didn't she ask for help?
This nigga capping, bro.
She did.
She never asked any of us for help.
No, she didn't.
She didn't tell us for 2 months.
Wait. That's funny as fuck. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait.
She did.
She never asked any of us for help.
She did.
No, she didn't.
She didn't tell us for 2 months.
Damn it, she kept that shit on the low for a dog like that. Like, that's crazy.
I think she thought it would go away.
I mean, that is the minimum. That's like the maximum time for amnesia to go away, 2 months. But like, still, you gotta tell his kids that he got in a car accident and shit, and he got amnesia. Damn, bro. I think this nigga capping. But I'm not a doctor. You feel me? I didn't go to school for that. I went to school to paint pictures.
I think the hardest part in what happened to their dad was that they didn't have their dad, but every time this man walked in the room, well, of course I have my dad, there's my dad.
This man.
But it wasn't really their dad.
Oh shit, they DJ. Pick it deep. I hear the soundboard. It's like a DJ sound and shit. The kids are gonna mark button.
I just finally talked to Justin, and I just tell him Daddy's not feeling well. He just cried and cried because he knew something was wrong with him.
That's also gotta be the toughest part, explaining that shit to your young children that they dad just don't remember them, don't know who the fuck they are.
And he said, is he ever gonna come back, Mom? Is he ever gonna come back? Is my daddy gonna come back?
Sheesh. And 16 years he did.
And I said, yeah, if we work really hard just and spend time with him and talk to him, I think, maybe he'll start remembering.
That's fucked up, because now she put the weight on him personally. If we work really hard, then he'll come back. So, like, it kind of feel like y'all ain't doing enough to get him back type shit. And that's tough.
Things, that's what we have to do.
I got like 4 cups of water on my foot right now. It's playing this ominous ass music. It's like somebody behind me.
It just the whole situation.
Closed, danger. Why
I
he off of there?
was forced to grow up way too fast. I was forced to deal with raising Matt, and
Damn, yeah, he had to become the father.
My mom never being there because she had to work all the time so she could support us, and Dad being in the spot that he was in, and it was like,
he just had to be
I just got
with his mom,
pushed through all these
and taking care
things
of
way too fast, and now it's like I'm trying to keep my life together, and then I'm still trying to deal with stuff that never got closed, as far as the way things happened with Dad, and
yeah, like you still wondering if he got amnesia.
It's really hard on me. It's really hard on my head.
Fuck, bro. I feel for Broski right now.
My little brother Justin was only 8 when the accident happened, and
Bro is 8. And his big brother was out of there already. This nigga, the documentary dude, was in Europe already. He was already in Europe for 2 months when this shit had happened. So he was out of there. And this dude was 8. And for 16 years he dealt with that shit. That's tough, bro. And his big brother ain't even been here in 10 years. So like he was really just kicking and dealing with this shit. I think he was probably he was the second oldest or the oldest that was still there. So like he really been in this shit
suddenly
the whole
had to
time.
kill a man at the house.
Yeah, he was
We hadn't
the
seen each other
fucking
in
oldest
years
boy in the
until I
house.
went to visit
He was the
him and his
oldest kid in the
girlfriend
house.
Crystal in San Francisco, where Justin was going to culinary school.
Oh, he's doing the culinary school and shit. He got his shit together.
He spoiled me with
He living with his
fabulous
girlfriend and
meals,
shit.
and shocked me with tales of his drug addiction, which began when he was only 13.
I'm like, damn, he going to culinary school. He living with his girlfriend. Drug addiction started at 13. Tough. Well, can't all be sunshine when your father gets amnesia for 16 years. Could never
In art
go in that
and
elevator.
words, I do confide in the unanswered questions that dwell inside. Why and who, what I am, why be heard on the path, why and five.
She off the shit right now. She off the shit right now. She on that booyah right now. Ain't nowhere in hell you talking like that. Celebrate, bro. She on that thou wow right now. Listen to this shit.
And the unanswered questions that dwell inside. Why and who, what I am, why be heard on the path to die. Will I know, or is this the same as the ones before that I want to blame? But this is my curse, my blessing too, and until there's an answer, I'll hide in you. That's so dope. Just some thoughts.
His thoughts. Oh, he was off that booyah when he wrote that shit.
Have you read any of them?
Pretty killer.
They're pretty deep. Some of them aren't.
At least she knows someone made that damn deep. Damn, bro. Off that Malibu, yeah.
Perfect. Oh, it's hot.
The fact that he was fine for 2 weeks after the accident happened, and then randomly he's like not okay, you know?
That's also what make it sus as fuck, bro. That's also what make this shit sound cap as shit. He didn't just get in an accident and then come back with amnesia. He got in an accident, had a 2-week planning period, and then came up and woke up with amnesia. You feel me? Like, he had 2 weeks to be like, let's commit to it. This is the story about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to tell a minute and sit right there and tell you how I forgot about my friends and family. Like, like how would you really accept that after 2 weeks of knowing that you got an accident, he got an accident, and who you were and your wife and all that shit, that pow. But like I said, none of us are doctors. So none of us can be like, that's not how amnesia works. Google told me months at maximum, and dementia is the only permanent version of this. But I'm also not a doctor, so I can't say you cap. And these doctors probably were like, oh, it seems kind of like it's a medical miracle, medical mystery. We'll do some tests. But his MRI saying his shit cap, so let's see.
And then every so often he'd say things like random things that there's no way that somebody just happened to tell you, like little tiny details, you know, itty bitty little things that you had to have remembered, you know. And
he's slipping with that shit.
And at the same time, I mean, right before his accident, there was a lot of bad shit that he was doing. You know, he was cheating on my mom. He was hitting me and my little brother. Like, he was never home. You know, God.
This nigga a piece of shit. So not only did he have the 2-week planning period, he was like, damn, you know, maybe I was doing a little too much. Time to get up out of here. Fuck this family. Let's start a new.
God knows what he was doing for work, and when he was gone that time, you know, who he's screwing.
That's crazy. He was beating his kids, cheating on his wife.
Maybe it came up that he did lose a lot of his memory, but you know, the doctors never fully said that. They always said, every doctor always said that there was, you know, if he really wanted to, he could get his memory back. So I think maybe, you know, he just didn't want to. You know, maybe he heard about all this bad shit that he was doing before he lost his memory and just didn't want to deal with it.
Said that Mr. Old Rich nigga don't tempt me. That's crazy.
Was Justin talking about the same father I grew up with? After Dad married Loretta when I was 12 and took on her kids Laura and Steve, he tried everything possible to turn us into the Brady Bunch. But my twin sisters Ann and Jan and I weren't interested and stayed with Mom.
Okay, so he got this son, and Jan, his other son, and then another jit with her. So that's five. So a lot of kids.
We still got together on holidays and weekends. But with each passing year, we grew more and more apart. That's why I was really surprised at how often Dad wrote me after his amnesia began. He said it saddened his heart what everyone was telling him about old Richard. His life sounds so out of balance. So different from the person he was now.
So he judging his old
Dad felt like he was surrounded by strangers who kept accusing him of things he couldn't possibly have done.
These shots hit, though. These shots hit in the gut cinematographer.
I think the biggest thing is my...
Imagine thinking your dad been lying about his amnesia for 16 years and then saying, you know what? This is gold. I've been filming this whole time.
family would call and say, I called you and left a message. Why didn't you call me back? And I wasn't getting any of my messages. And I left to go to the grocery store, so your dad was home by himself. So I looked downstairs, I couldn't find him, and I thought, oh, he must be upstairs. And as I was going up the stairs, I could hear talking. I could hear like people were talking, and I was like, what is he doing? Later on, when I said something to your dad one day, we got into an argument about something, and I just plain asked him, why are you recording our phone calls? He says, what do you mean recording our phone?
What? This nigga's he's recording their phone calls. He's monitoring their communication with each other. Why? Does he wants to know how much they know about this nigga Cap? Like
the phone calls, and I said, well, you've got this little setup up in the bedroom. And he was just totally shocked that I knew about it. And I wanted to know what he was doing with it. He said that he was recording everything and he was keeping it, and that he had a safety deposit box at the bank, and they were all locked up, and that we better never do anything to hurt him, and I better never send him away because he'd get the tapes out. And I was like, what's on the tape?
Tapes.
Dad once told me he was keeping an audio diary of what was going on after his amnesia began.
For 16 years he's been recording the fucking phone calls?
Someone had told him it might be valuable if the case ever went to trial.
What?
Could these be the same tapes Loretta was talking about? A few years after his amnesia began,
this nigga gotta be a Russian sleeper cell or some shit, bro. This nigga gotta be a spy or some shit. There's no way in hell. This nigga woke up after 2 weeks from, bro, he is activated. Like, that's what happened.
Dad took me to his bank and showed me the tapes. One day we can listen to them together, he said.
Capping about him. He really had the tapes.
I'm still waiting.
12 months after accident. So this is first year of amnesia. Oh, those lights are bright as hell. Maybe snow blind, this nigga. Turn the fluorescence down. Angry.
Dad said the doctors called his condition the rarest of the rare.
Yeah, this nigga got that one-on-one, that handmade.
They all had their theories. They kept poking and prodding him in search of some kind of proof to satisfy their enormous egos.
not to satisfy their egos, but to just hear me out. Maybe to figure out why your dad has long-term amnesia is why they were trying to figure out what's wrong with him. Maybe that was the goal.
Dad was frightened and didn't know where to turn for help. There's only one person he seemed to trust. Grandma.
Why he can't say grandma like that? About what? Did he remember her?
That I was there, and he said, oh, and he raised up in bed and grabbed me and hugged me and hugged me and hugged me. He just was so happy to see someone he recognized.
Oh, see,
The reason he recognized me, he had a little picture on his bed table. And Loretta had told him that's who it was. And she said, when she told him, he said, she said, but your father died a few years ago from cancer. And of course that made him cry because he felt he had nobody if he didn't have his father. I don't know every little detail what happened there, but I went up in the motorhome and I stayed there for, I think I was there for a couple of weeks at that time. And we went to a couple of different doctors, and they said that if he'd just get back to his work with the computer business, well, he would be all right. He just had a...
Yeah, so like they saying, everybody's saying, so what I'm grabbing, the doctors are saying, if you just get back into your routine, your memory start to come back. You start to get your memory jogged or whatever. That's like his son said, if he was trying hard enough, he would get his memory back. If they try hard enough, his dad would get his memory back. So like, what's not clicking for this nigga?
Face the fact that he could be okay if he would just make himself go back to it.
And he never did.
When we came out of I guess it was a psychiatrist, out of his office, Richard said, I don't like that man. I don't ever want to come back again, because he was accusing me of things that aren't true.
Yeah, this nigga doesn't
What was
wanna
he
be
asking
him.
the doctor?
Oh, he would ask him, why are you doing this? And Richard said, why am I doing what? And he said, you're not facing the facts. And Richard said, well, I guess I don't know what the facts are. Yeah, because I'm answering you the best I know how. I don't have any.
And he said, why are you not facing the facts? He said, well, I don't know what the facts are. Nigga, like, how am I face something I don't know? Like,
Any
he
memory.
kind of had a point there. You
I
gotta
don't
get
seem to have a
there.
memory. When we came out that time, I said, you don't need to go back and face that doctor again. And Loretta was rather upset about that because she felt too that Richard was just putting this on. And I don't know how anybody could be that good an actor, even the best in the movies and the TV shows, because it was so real.
You just let your son gleece you. Ad blocker. Shack in the paint. Get that shit out of here. 18 months after
Stay there.
that.
I'm going to take your picture, too.
Taking a picture?
Okay, you can start now.
Oh, I am Richard Minnick, and I'm 47 years old, and I am...
This the acting she was talking about? This the W award winning acting she was talking about? Running back. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe, because I don't know what he talked like before the accident. So maybe this is W grade acting, and I'm insensitive. If I'm being insensitive, Richard, I'm sorry, but this shit kind of seemed cat to me.
Okay, you can start now.
Oh, I am Richard Minnick, and I'm 47 years old, and I am Rick's dad. And I'm saying a few things tonight. It's Thanksgiving. We're together, and all I know is since it was an accident I had, and now pretty many times it's like living in a dead person's body.
This nigga cap as fuck, bruh. Come on, man. This nigga cap as fuck, bruh. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. You buy that shit? Bruh. Come on, cuz.
For 18 months. I was gonna say some things tonight. I like learning about people who are in my family. And I'm playing with Justin and Matthew. I like getting better physically so I can play more things.
This nigga pissing me off.
Building myself from learning things and learning about things in
He looked like that nigga from Johnny Quest, that nigga Rip Bannon.
the Bible. And I'm out of time, I think. Okay.
The next time I filmed Dad,
cap, bro. Honestly, I think this nigga
I was
cap,
disappointed his memory still hadn't returned. He was getting better physically and could see out of his left eye again.
Oh shit, so he wasn't permablind? He wasn't Pegasus? He got his
like
shit
a
back?
little kid. Dad was going to first grade with my little brother Matt and was reading everything he could get his hands on. He said he felt older than Matt, but younger than Justin. Dad called them his play buddies, and like nothing.
I don't think that's amnesia. Do I not know what amnesia is? Is my frame of okay? So my frame of reference. I just realized this. My frame of reference of amnesia is only like 90s and 2000s TV show episodes that people get amnesia. I don't know any. I do know somebody who got amnesia in real life. Joel got amnesia in real life at a football game, and he actually did pretend that his amnesia lasted longer so he could stop talking to girls and shit. That shit was actually kind of fucked up. He gaslit the fuck out of a lot of people with his amnesia. But I mean, well, shit, that's what this nigga doing.
Better than going to the playground with them.
Shit.
But I was 24 and didn't know how to play with Dad anymore.
Is all amnesia cap? Not dementia, but like.
I think we were all hopeful that when his brain healed, he'd get his memory back. We kept looking for signs of that he would remember something, but it just wasn't happening.
Pam, this is Pam.
We'd show him pictures and tell him family stories, and he said, I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, and these are all really nice stories, and these are nice pictures, but they really don't mean anything more to me than if I...
That nigga said, these are nice stories, but they really don't mean shit. You're telling me nothing.
We're reading a history book. So now that he doesn't remember anything, I've just let that go. I don't even think about it anymore because I figure that Richard isn't around anymore anyway. The Richard that's around now is a totally new and different person, and so I'm learning to relate to the new Richard and just let the old Richard go.
Damn, that's hard as fuck. How you do that? How you just forget your brother like that? Like, just damn.
All right, you guys.
Pat, bro, I can't forget you like that.
When he has been willing to share some of the things that happened with him, sometimes I'm just kind of in awe. Like, he told me once that he could see the electricity going through the power lines.
Really?
He could see the aura of the electricity running along the power lines and the aura around people, and he just thought that was normal.
This nigga, so this nigga lost his memory and gained a visual power. This nigga got the new Naruto eyes. He get to see your auras and shit. This nigga wildin', bro. This nigga wildin', bro. See, now I really think he lying. Cause like, oh, not only did you lose something, you straight gained some cool shit. Like, yeah. Like, nah, nigga, come on, man. I don't believe that. Now, you buy that?
That was pretty weird, but not as weird as his out-of-body experiences. He told me about that he could leave his body and go out into the
Not as many Danny fan than me astro projecting and shit, like.
universe and travel all around and then come back in his body, and I'm going, all right, this is sci-fi material here.
Right?
And then it got to be, he liked it so much, it got to be harder and harder to come back into his body, so he quit doing it.
Nigga, ain't there like,
Where do you think that
happened in
came
The
from?
Conjuring?
And why would he say stuff like that?
I can only trust that it was real.
You trusted it was real? You trusted that?
Aunt Pam's.
Bro, I think that nigga took the 2 weeks and looked at his family and was like, they dumb enough. They dumb enough. They'll take that. Amnesia.
Stories made me wonder. Did Dad's accident open up some part of his brain no machine could measure?
I don't know why I thought that was
Gain him
real.
access to a realm somewhere out of our reach. Maybe even the metaphysical world.
It was gonna get TOS so hard.
Or did Dad's spirit die and give way to another?
He's staring at me like that. Oh my god, why is this smile in slow motion? I could not take that. That shit was so weird.
You know, my brother's body was there, but my brother wasn't there anymore. And,
She's finna cry. That's so sad. I feel so bad for her.
you know, it's almost worse than having him die. Because when you die, the body's gone. But he died and his body was still there.
Kicking it in front of you. Doing the most, putting you through the worst.
I was always really close to Richard. We had a good relationship as we were growing up, and he was kind of like my best friend.
Why would, see, that's the thing, why would he do her like that? Why would he do his
So,
sister like that?
anyway, my best friend was gone, and yet he was there.
Did he ever get a sense that part of him was still there, like locked up inside or something? That he was ever giving you any signs that he was still there? The old Richard was still there?
No, not really. Not as far as memories go. None of his memories have ever come back.
Not a single fucking memory.
So we've been developing new memories. No.
That's fucked up. How
I've
his
never
sister going
wanted
through
to
it right
admit
now.
what Aunt Pam said, but I've often felt like life would be easier if Dad had died in the accident.
Ooh, that's hard. That's
Everything would be
tough.
so
That's
final.
tough.
Instead of this uncertainty about when his memories would finally return.
That's hard.
3 years after the accident, Dad's life wasn't exactly unfolding the way any of us had expected.
Yeah, he still wasn't remembering.
His memories
the
still
first
hadn't
episode.
returned. And he and Loretta were separating. I was thousands of miles away. But at least my sister Jan and her husband Payman were there to help out.
Jan, this is Jan.
What upset him? They're just fighting?
Melissa is just a handful. She pushed him or something. And while he was sitting or something, she pushed him. And he fell
Payman?
down.
That's a name? Payman? I like how I just say that. Like, that's a name? Yeah, it could be a name. But his name's Payman. I never heard that name before in my life.
Did you ever feel sorry for him?
Of course we felt sorry for him.
Yeah, I mean, of course we did. It's a sad situation. It was very emotional and very difficult, and there was a lot of sadness around it that, you know, we lost the person that had raised us, the person that we knew, the person who coached our track team, the person who taught me how to run hurdles.
I didn't know him before
yeah,
the
you
accident.
didn't know him
I didn't
before
know
the accident.
pre-Richard.
So
I didn't know, as he called it, old Richard. I just knew new Richard.
yeah.
And
Pam was so much more patient with him because the whole thing was just difficult for me. The way he could drag out one small topic for hours, and it was difficult.
right when we were there dealing with the whole settlement, actually 6 months after the settlement, when he had gone on his own, you remember that? When
he was living on his own.
We actually also said.
So he got amnesia. He don't remember none of that shit. He hanging out with kids and playing with first graders and reading first grade books and shit. But 6 months. That was 18 months after the accident when he was still doing that shit. 6 months. He moved out on his own already. He was out in the crib kicking it type shit. Like separated from his wife and shit.
Went up there and settled his apartment. We found him an apartment because at that point you could see that Loretta and him were going to break up, and we helped him find an apartment
Where it was close enough that he could see the boys.
Maybe that was a few months later that we went.
We went multiple trips.
Yeah, we
to
went
handle
multiple trips.
It all.
It was kind of an interesting thing when we went there. He was like a local almost hero in the sense that here was this guy that was building his life up despite the fact that he's has this huge handicap, and everyone would wave to him as he rode his bike by. And by this time he had his bicycle and he would ride everywhere.
And he had a newspaper route. Just like a typical child.
Bro, I've never known anybody that had a fucking paper route on a bike in my life, bro. What do you mean?
Next time I saw Dad.
Honestly, that shit kind of sound like a peaceful ass job, bro. You wake up early, when it's still like before the sun come up, you on your bike by yourself, headphones on, hitting your little route, flinging them papers onto the porch, launching them hoes, and then you get back. When everybody wake up, you going back to sleep, you done for the day type shit. That's tough.
Dad,
I fuck with that.
I was really surprised he'd become a paper boy.
If anybody need a paper boy, a route that's open, let me know.
His doctors thought it would teach him responsibility. Plus, a spare change couldn't hurt.
How much paper boys
Dad
get
and I
paid?
both delivered newspapers as kids. And it was kind of fun doing it together again as an adult, all these years later. I was really proud of how Dad was putting his life back together, and was sure his memory would return in no time. But then something else changed in his life that none of us was prepared for. Tracy. She was one of his customers.
This nigga bagged another bitch, bro. There's no way. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell this nigga lost his memory and gained the bitch, bro. Ain't no way in hell, bruh.
They'd struck up a conversation one day while he was admiring the flowers on our balcony.
As a paper
He was hitting on a paper boy. I mean, that's exactly what it was. And it was a boy. He was a paper boy.
He bagged her as a paper boy.
It is strange. Come on. You can't. She was hitting on Pepe. I mean, she was. You're laughing, but it's true.
It's like he's a boy type shit. He's a boy, like.
Dad couldn't wait to introduce me to Tracy.
Yeah, he really
He
did
called her a
that.
spirit angel and joked about her being an older woman, even though she was young enough to be his daughter.
This nigga on demon time. This nigga cap, bruh. He remember everything, bro. He know exactly who the fuck he is, bro. This nigga bagged the new shorty, called her a spirit angel, talking about he a child. This nigga cap, bruh. This nigga doing his whole family like fucking muddy, bro. That's crazy.
Dad was like a teenager in love for the first time. And I wasn't sure if I should be happy for him or embarrassed about it all.
All those ants, like totally getting
Not long after they met,
run out of their house.
Dad and Tracy moved into a big house in Davis. Over the next years, I visited them often. Once I even brought my son Jonathan to meet his grandpa. Dad and Tracy were spending a lot of time with Matt and Justin, and were taking care of Grandma, too. With Tracy's help, Dad's life seemed to be getting back to normal.
Back to normal?
At times, it even felt like we were becoming father and son again, until I asked Dad why his memory still wasn't returning.
And he's like, I don't got no memories.
We're not in alignment. You're one of those thinking people who's stuck in the fog.
What? What? Yo, is this nigga starting a cult, bro? Cause that sounds like some cult nigga shit, bro. That's what that sounds like. That sounds like some cult nigga shit. We're not in alignment. You're one of those people, thinking people that's stuck. What, like, I don't know.
His memory still wasn't returning. That's when he said, we're not in alignment. You're one of those thinking people who's stuck in the fog. I'm glad I escaped.
Escaped?
I'm new Richard now. When are you finally going to stop calling me Dad?
I'm not your father. I'm not like you. You're in your brain. I'm in the real world, jackass.
Dad and Tracy started avoiding me.
Oh, that's fucked up. They ducked off on his ass.
The last time they let me film them a few years back, they were writing children's songs and performing them for kids and seniors.
What?
I was touched by the smiles they brought to everyone's faces.
How do you get in that gig?
I kept wondering, is this who Dad really wants to be? Or what Tracy's turned him into?
You think she's in the driver's seat of this situation? The amnesia man that pulled up into her life and moved into a giant house with her while he was a fucking paper boy. He was a paper boy. And then he bagged her and moved into a big ass house. You think she's in the driver's seat of this situation? Come on, man. Come on, man. Do the math.
Then something happened that put even more distance between Dad and his old family.
Which one?
After
the first
10
one or
years
the second
together
one?
in Davis, he and Tracy suddenly packed up their bags and moved to a remote corner of Oregon, hundreds of miles away from all the friends and family
on the whole family. Yeah,
Dad had ever known.
Your daddy, Papa was a Rolling Stone. This mask is terrifying. Do not go around my children with that. I don't have children, but any children that I like, no come around them.
Ever since Dad and Tracy moved away, it's been harder and harder to get through to him. He stopped answering my calls and rarely wrote. They started calling us Richard's 5 biological children. Why was Dad trying so hard to distance himself from his past?
Let me say my 5 biological children.
From our past.
Not my accepted children. Damn, that's crazy. He put a fucking disclaimer on your fucking your familial tie. This nigga really just dipped off on 2 families. Ann and Jan. What's up, Ann and Jan? The twins. They reminiscing about this nigga.
There is no way that either one of them is emotionally equipped to live in this society the way it is. I think that's why they had to get away. I'm not so sure they were trying to hide anything. Maybe everything was getting too close. Maybe they were. Maybe memories were coming back because of where they were living. I don't know. Or maybe it's just they could afford to buy a house there. I don't know I have no idea why they did it, but
they
seem really
we always
peaceful
moved,
there.
though. He was,
we always
moved. We moved all the time. He kept thinking, pursuit of a better life. He just kept
Always
thinking
in
every
pursuit of
time
a
we
better
moved,
life.
it was going to be better. Somehow, just changing venues was going to make.
They're saying it, but they're not seeing it. They're saying it, but they're not seeing it. We always moved in pursuit of a better life. Somehow, moving and leaving things behind would make things better in general. Just starting over would be better than doing what I'm doing now. Leaving where I am and starting over from scratch would be better, is what this man has been telling them their whole lives. And they think, well, maybe they just could afford it. No. He ran away and started again.
Make the whole world a better place, and that our whole life was just going to be totally different and wonderful. And
So that's one more thing that hasn't changed.
Exactly.
yeah, the wanderlust. It's like the desire to just, somehow you can escape and just start all over, reinvent yourself, which he has.
Yeah.
And start all over and be fresh and somebody that nobody's ever
Consequently,
known
we
before.
never want to move. Yeah, I don't want to move. I hate
I'm not
moving
even
now.
moving next door. I'm staying
Yeah.
put. Yeah.
Traumatizing, bro. Traumatizing. Fuck these people up. He fucked these people up. Their whole lives.
I never understood why we moved around so much when I was a kid.
Because your daddy was probably a bank robber or some shit.
It just seemed like we always started packing up again before we'd ever really unpacked. We must have moved back and forth across the West at least a dozen times before I'd finished grade school. Back then, it sort of felt like a never-ending road trip.
What was he doing for business like that? Whipping the station
I never
wagon.
thought of him as a restless soul who could never stay put for long.
It doesn't mean that I'm not curious and I don't care, because I do. But regardless of the outcome, it's not within our power to change it.
Yeah, she's right.
We can't make him be who he was before.
She got a really good point. It's been 16 years. At this point, just let that shit rock. Like, fuck this nigga type shit. He said, fuck them kids, fuck these parents type shit. What is he doing? Oh shit, this is actual footage of these people. Like, actual.
I don't know. There's not much you can do. I mean, I don't know what you can do. I mean, you could try to force the point that it's there and then let it go. What good is it going to do?
Cameron, this dude's mom.
And I just think for your own peace of mind, you probably should just accept the fact that he's got amnesia and go forward. And just have whatever relationship you have with him now. And remember what it was when you were young. And you've got wonderful movies. Don't you have all the movies? A lot of them? Oh, not all of them, though. Yeah. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting, because I was hoping we could get all those on videotape. So I'd have them. They're so cute.
Yeah, he don't have
Tiny
all of
album.
this. This is a lot of tapes.
That's how I looked in 1991 when all this happened.
Damn, this happened in 91.
Funny.
So it's 21 years later. Oh wait, no, I'm tripping. 1991 is 31 years later.
But things were pretty rocky from the start. And they eventually called it quits when I was 12. Still, after the accident, Mom tried her best to jog Dad's memory.
Yeah.
Well, he was really strange. He said to me, well, you seem like a nice person. Why would I have divorced you?
Well, what was it like the first time you saw him after the accident?
Well, it was horrifying.
Like,
and it was creepy. And I still didn't really believe it.
Why not?
They just saying cap.
I don't know. I just didn't believe it. And I spent time with him, and I listened to him, but I just kept thinking, all the time I was talking to him, I felt silly because I thought, I'm playing this game with you. That's exactly what I thought. I thought, I'm I'm playing this game with you.
Just like this nigga cap.
You know, but I did it.
Like everybody else. What the fuck is he doing? Oh, that boy wildin'. That's ski lift? It is, yeah. But that shit bouncing. Hell no, I don't bounce the ski lift, bro. What's wrong with you?
Based on the description of the accident.
Them little fucking wires on the ski lift, these people wildin'. You going over a mountain with these as with your children? You bugging,
and everything.
bugging.
I thought I just
risking it all.
It didn't occur to me that it was a long-term thing. I thought, oh, he's just pretending to get attention or something. That was initially seems to me like that's what I thought at the time.
Well, could you imagine him doing that?
Yeah, I could. Absolutely. Absolutely, I could imagine him doing that. I could, because I don't think he lived in the real world sometimes.
So she said he could have just started this shit for attention and just rocked with it for 16 years to get out of there. Damn, what if that's exactly how it happened? He started with for attention and then like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Dear Karen, I think sometimes for how hard maybe it was for you or Tom to me visiting, and so thank you very much for your caring and your help. It was so great to meet Rick. I felt so sad when he left. His little time with me was a beautiful sunny day in the middle of terrible dark storms.
Why does he sound so depressed? And like, what child says shit like this, bro? Like, what child says it's been like living in a dead person's body for 18 months and you guys have been bright sunny days in the middle of my dark terrible storms? Like, that's weird, bro. That's not how children talk.
It feels like I am going to blow into many little pieces and fly away in the wind. You felt like a friend. I do not feel any friends in this house but Justin and Matthew. I feel so alone, like I am sinking in a dark, cold swamp, and I cry sometimes inside. Sometimes I have a strange feeling for just wanting to visit with you, but you do not hardly know me, but it seems like you do.
This is a weird... fuck, bro.
My brain is so messed up, and I am trying to hold on with everything I have got. Now,
what if this nigga really does have amnesia and we all being evil, bro? We all being assholes, bro. What if this nigga really don't remember shit, bro?
I am so tired, so I am sending this to you. I am walking from my printing lesson past the post office. So I am sitting here to say goodbye and mail this. I feel like I miss you. Richard, 3/15/91. I printed the whole alphabet today. It is my first time to do that after 5 weeks of lessons, 2 days each week. So what I can't figure out is, how did he write this letter?
That's what I was about to say. This letter is cursive, isn't it? And why is it misraised? Yeah, these letters are in fucking cursive.
His mom, and realized I'd never questioned how Dad could write me all those letters back then, if he supposedly could barely read. Maybe I was too caught up in what he was trying to say to think about how he was doing it.
It's just a gut feel. Just a gut feel. I mean, remember, I've known him since we were kids.
Yeah, you know this nigga his whole life.
With me, it's just a gut feel. It's just a gut feel. And I actually almost feel guilty, but I still think this is a ruse that he's carried out for 15 years.
Why would he do that?
Because he can retreat into a world where he's 100% comfortable, where he doesn't have to be a grown-up adult.
He can just be in charge
and deal with things as they really are in life.
That's crazy.
That he can repair bicycles and do all those things that he's really good at, and be a totally accepted part of society, because everybody thinks he's not totally there. You know, and he's smart. I mean, he's not stupid. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's smarter than any of us realize. I don't know.
Yeah, he finessed all of y'all.
I don't know. I don't know if there was some kind.
He is very smart. He's smarter than all of y'all people, bro. He finessed every last one of y'all into letting him get y'all to think he had amnesia for 16 years, bro.
Kind of stuff in the newspapers about that savings and loan he was working for was in some kind of trouble.
I told you this nigga was a bank robber.
Well, he could have been. He could have been innocent, and he could have not been innocent. I think he's too smart to not have known.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he didn't do anything wrong. Maybe he stumbled onto something. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on in savings and loans in the 80s and the 90s. So
a lot of shit going on savings and loans.
God only knows what he. I mean, he could have, Rick, gotten into anything.
Mom reminded me of how little I knew about what Dad did for a living.
He's a scammer.
We never talked about his work, and I never asked too many questions. I just knew it had something to do with computer systems for banks. But then I thought back to my graduation. Dad arrived penniless and slept on the floor of my dorm room. He said he was out of work and was spending a lot of time giving depositions against his former colleagues at Farmers Savings Bank, the job he moved his whole family from LA up to Davis for in the mid-1980s. He was hired to overhaul the computer system of the rapidly expanding savings and loan. But apparently things didn't go quite as planned.
Yeah, he was about to give up the boys. He was about to give up the boys to stay out.
I found out that the federal government investigated Farmers Savings Bank during the years leading up to Dad's accident. At the National Archives in San Francisco, I discovered 20 boxes of depositions, including volume after volume of Dad's testimony.
20 boxes of depositions, 20 boxes of niggas just talking, bro. That's fucking insanity. Oh, wait, what? Oh, let me bring it up here now. I thought I've been trying to figure out how to do this whole time.
The investigators grilled Dad for months on end about some kind of data scrub. I couldn't make out exactly what role he'd played in the whole affair. But then I stumbled upon a name I'd heard before. Harlan Butters.
Harlan Butters, bro. Harlan Butters. I'm changing my Twitter name to Harlan Butters today. Harlan Butters. Oh, it's even
always
better.
In control.
Colonel Harlan Sanders.
What the situation was, even if the world, so to speak, was crumbling.
Even in high pressure situations.
Even in high.
Cool.
Yeah. He was always on. He just had this sense about him that the system could be down. You could have 3 states without computers, because that's what data line was, and it was fine. We know the problem. Let's not get emotional about it. Let's just fix it. When I was there was a request by Fannie Mae to audit the loans that farmers had sold to Fannie Mae.
Oh shit! Check out what y'all selling to fans.
Well, we got this magnetic tape. I wrote a program to spin through the farmers' files and get a sense of, what's going to flush out. Well, you expect some discrepancies just through human error.
Some discrepancies.
But there were quite a few.
Quite a few.
Balances appeared to be different. Addresses were different. Account numbers were different. What's going on here?
All the errors you could possibly think of.
Quite frankly, there was no real big surprises for Richard and I. We had consistently suspected there was a lot of misinformation in the systems. And I brought that to the attention of
So if you just tuning in, this motherfucker a cat, bro. He lying about his injuries. He was involved in a big ass investigation with bank fraud and shit. This is the longest case of fucking amnesia in all history. This nigga had amnesia for 16 years. The longest cases are usually 2 months. This nigga a cop, bro. And he dipped off on his family for the second time. This nigga really a cop, bro. Like,
one of the officers at the company, it wasn't Richard, because she was in charge of that particular area. And I said, we're running into some discrepancies. What's going on here? She then made a request of me to take the information that was on this Fannie Mae audit tape and change our system, the farmer system, to reflect the Fannie Mae data on our system. I was asked to manipulate the data, and I just flat.
This nigga motherfucking went undercover and shit. He chased the bag. Actually, think about this. He ain't chased the bag. He caught that hoe. Because he did that shit, right? He did the shit. He finessed. Snitched on the whole gang. Gave up 20 boxes of fucking talk. Wrapped up the whole gang. Stayed free. Pretended to have amnesia. Dipped off on his family. Got away with that shit for 16 years. And still ain't go to jail. Like, honestly, Dwet Boy of the Century, bro. Dwet Boy of the Century. Future wish he was like that.
Refused.
And then what happened?
Well, it wasn't too long after that, as I recall, that Richard was let go.
And why?
Just arbitrarily. I can't speak to why he was let go. I can only suspect that management was unhappy with the message that he was sending back to them that, look, you people need to put procedures together and execute those procedures consistently, otherwise you're going to lose it. And so, in my opinion, farmers shot the messenger. It was just that simple. And they did it rather abruptly.
Because think about this. He was the computer dude. He knew what was going on with all the accounts. He had everybody information. He had everything going. And then when the feds came in, oops, I got in a car accident. I don't remember nothing. I don't even know my wife and them. Come on, cuz. This nigga, he got off. He leased the whole system.
Just all of a sudden one day, Richard was asked to leave. And his replacement was already there.
And just randomly he got fired type shit. Like, yeah.
They told him he wasn't a team player. And so they were going to have to let him go.
How did he react to that?
He was very angry about it.
He gave up the whole
because
game.
all he was trying to do was be honest, and he got fired, honest. And he basically got blackballed because he couldn't get a job any place else in another savings.
Yeah, because everybody trying to scam and you out here finna snitch on the boys. No way you're back in. No way.
Alone, at least not in Southern California.
Not with us. Seen how you did them.
So, I mean, we didn't have anything. We were devastated by it, basically, financially.
I'll never financially recover from snitching on the guys.
Apparently, Dad was a key witness for the prosecution.
Key witness?
Until he got his amnesia.
Worst kind of witness to be.
The case never went to trial. And the federal government ended up bailing out Farmers Savings Bank for $150 million.
Bruh, oh my God. So now he didn't finesse. He only finessed his family. He didn't finesse the boys. So he gave up the whole gang. Was finna go testify, was finna put his name on the line like, hey, yo, these boys was out here gleasing. They was getting off. They was finessing the whole system, blase, blase. And then the government just said, fuck it. We don't even want to know about that shit. I don't even know why you telling me that shit, my boy. We don't even fuck with snitches like you. And then gave the guys that stayed solid $150 million to make sure they were straight. Bruh.
No one went to jail.
It be on. Nobody went to jail. And now you just blackballed in the game because you was finna give up the guys. You should have shut the fuck up. You already got a payout, bitch. Nah, he should have told him these niggas was scamming.
I also found out that
people,
Dad's former boss was murdered at his desk a year later.
What? How? Found slain. Of course, of a robbery, money was missing from his wallet. Nothing else was. The office appeared to have been disturbed. This was no sign of a struggle. No weapon was found. Burglary was scheduled for the day. Nah, the autopsy said.
And the murderer was never found.
That was a setup. Big setup. He went, bruh. Think about this. 6ix9ine still dropping music. This nigga couldn't even get a job. 6ix9ine got a track with Akon about being locked up after he snitched on the gang. Like, he still could say he's 6ix9ine. That nigga was at a Starbucks down here not that long ago. He doing shit like what night. 6ix9ine still got money. This nigga fucked. This nigga's fucked.
After Farmers, Dad couldn't find another job and tried to go out on his own.
Block that shit.
He started one computer consulting company after another, but things only got worse.
Damn.
Shortly before the accident, he turned his back on the computer business and was trying to open a hardware store with the help of my stepbrother Steve.
Right.
But it wasn't meant to be.
You know how bad, you gotta be down abysmal, bro, atrocious. To say fuck your whole trade and let's just open up a fucking Lowe's on our own, bro. Like, damn.
Well, I don't ever think he had amnesia. I think the whole thing was nothing but an act. I always have.
Why? What makes you think that?
Everybody said it's
The whole thing never added up. People that tried to sit there and talk about it too much and think about it too much would try and figure out a way that it worked. People like me that are simple and use common sense sat back and said, no, it's a bunch of BS. I've always believed that.
Why do you think you would do something like this?
That's the worst argument. That's the worst argument. People who think about things, well, they figure out why things make sense. And me, people who just use simple logic, refuse to allow shit to make sense. You can explain it, but I will not understand it. but nah, I kind of feel him though. At a certain, I'm like on the opposite spectrum though. People who think about shit will come to the conclusion that all of the things that he is saying are lies compared to the things that the doctors and the x-rays and statistics and every question I've asked them has said.
It was his way of getting out of working and all the financial responsibilities he had, which most of those he created for himself anyway. He was the one that couldn't hold down a job and kept putting himself in financial problems.
Why couldn't he hold down a job? I mean, he's like that.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Because he was always too busy trying to tell everybody else how it's done. I learned a long time ago from one of my granddads, if your boss comes up and tells you that white wall's red, you tell him it's a nice shade of red. Because that's the way it is. Because he's...
All right, good night, folks. Have a good one. I appreciate you for following and coming to kick it. I'll be back on tomorrow at like 2 in the afternoon, 9 a.m. type shit, you know what I'm saying?
The employer, he's the one signing your paycheck. Your dad could never do that. He always wanted to tell everybody how to do it and how it was done. He had to control everything. Employers didn't like that, they'd can him. It was his own fault.
What do you think, he snapped or what?
I don't think he snapped, I think he chickened out. I think he figured out he was headed for bankruptcy, he had no way out.
I think he just gave
and
up.
He finally just took the sucker's way out. He just got out of it the best way he could figure out.
Finesse his way out of
Did
that
it have anything
shit.
to do with the accident?
No.
He used the
They weren't
accident
hit
as a way
that
to
hard.
leverage.
I saw the damage to the vehicle. They weren't hit.
This nigga a car accident specialist?
That hard.
What did it look like?
Impact
Yeah,
collision
the back end
specialist?
was smashed in a little bit. That was about it. Bumper was smashed up. Tailgate wouldn't shut right. It wasn't hard enough to create all the mess that he's come up with. He figured out a way. He sat back and figured out a way to wind up with an income for life.
You remember when I said he had a 2-week planning period and then he woke up with amnesia? This nigga, he might not have worded that first phrasing, but this nigga's on to something.
That was not taxable, that couldn't be levied by any garnishment, and he could turn around and walk away from all of his bills scot-free.
Facts.
Yeah, but he walked away from his family too.
Well, that never bothered him before. Why would it now?
Yo, this nigga is on timing. He's saying everything I've been saying this whole time. Yo, this nigga's on timing.
He walked away from you and your sisters. Yeah. And started all over again.
People do that.
Yeah, maybe some do, some don't. Your dad and I never saw eye to eye on anything. Never have, never will. And I didn't have much respect for the guy. So,
damn.
Like I always said, I'm the wrong person to talk to about
I
it.
thought you guys got along well.
This man dead, bro, and he talking about him like shit. But he kind of stepping. He kind of talking that talk. He kind of saying what needed to be said.
No, we did for my mother's sake. We didn't see eye to eye on anything. Right after his accident, he still was prone to these rages and these fits. And he'd start throwing a fit over stupid little things. Well, Junior was he was like 18 months and he was coming unglued. I was standing there doing my laundry and he was throwing a fit about something. Your dad grabbed him by one arm, swung him around and sent him face first right into the staircase.
Oh, shit.
And so I come running over there because he had been told not to do that with the kids. He'd been rough with them before. So I jumped over the couch and he was trying to get away from me because he saw me coming. He goes, "Don't you touch me." I grabbed him by the front of his shirt like this, picked him up, opened the front door, and went boom down the front driveway.
Now, toss his ass out the crib like Uncle Phil. Hey, this nigga a stepper, bro. This nigga be stepping.
And then I locked the door, and Mom's the one who let him back in. She was worried about the neighbors calling the cops. I said, "I don't care. Let them call the cops." That was the last time I really ever had anything to do with him. From that point on, I had no respect for him, and I just told him to stay away from me.
Pack that nigga up, put his ass in a box. Hey, fuck this nigga,
Did you see him
Richard.
being violent a lot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd gotten violent with my sister. He tried it with me, but I.
So he was beating his wife too? He was beating the kids, beating his wife, cheating on her, fighting this nigga. Yo, this nigga Wayne.
Knocked him down 2 or 3 times. He left me alone after that. So
that didn't change after the accident?
Mm-mm. No, and there's another reason why it was a big hoax.
Wait, so he was still beating them up after he got amnesia? So the only thing this nigga remembered was how to be a piece of shit? Nah, bruh. This nigga, hell, bruh. This nigga AIDS, my nigga. Not Paul father.
Best thing that anybody could have ever done, if they could have years ago, would have been able to put some secret cameras and microphones somewhere and catch him when his guard was down and nobody was paying attention. Because I guarantee you they would have seen something different.
Shit.
You think he's getting nervous? I mean,
No.
that's why he's refusing to let me film him?
I don't think it's a point of getting nervous. I think it's a point of, I've pulled this off. I'm done. You see what I'm saying? Everybody believes it, and I'm beyond that point of being questioned anymore. So I've got my little life, and it's all working out just peachy. I'm not going to go back and talk about the past because I might accidentally open Pandora's box.
Well, what do you think I should just leave him in peace, or do you think I should try
I
to
would.
calm it up?
Yeah.
Oh, so
I'd
he
let it
still
go.
is alive. I thought
Everybody
he was
else
dead the way
has.
they talking about it. So yeah, they just talking about this nigga like he dead because he just not responding, not talking to their ass, not replying to their ass, just let that shit rock like that. Like, shit. Fuck them kids is how he feel.
Steve and I could never stand each other. And I didn't want to believe anything he was saying. But he reminded me of everything about Dad that I didn't want to remember.
Oh, he didn't even like that nigga type shit. He just wanted to go see.
He always had an explosive side to him, brimming beneath the surface. We never knew when he might erupt again. I wasn't sure I wanted to hear anymore. When Laura rang with some surprising news. There was something we'd overlooked all these years. Something so close. I couldn't believe we'd missed it.
I wonder what it could be like. What's the tipping point? What's the struggle?
The person that was responsible for the car accident worked for Sacramento County. And so there was a civil suit that happened against Sacramento County with my mother and Richard. And some of the evidence in there is medical findings.
Sounds in behind my head. What medical findings? Tell me this nigga didn't have it. Tell me. He finna go see the actual research, like the actual evidence type shit.
I didn't know how I felt about Laura's discovery. None of us had ever realized the accident documents were public record. We could have easily seen them years ago.
Bruh, y'all ain't even...
Surely they contain medical diagnosis that would answer all of our questions.
Hell yeah. Let's get these answers, baby.
All this time.
Did he have the fucking metal shit in his neck like Dr. Octopus or not? Let's get the fucking answers.
Did I really want to know?
Yes, nigga.
Oh, this is Richard's writing.
Diary accident.
This is the day of the accident. This was written. He's talking about what happened in that accident.
He was writing shit day one. Like,
he felt weak and dizzy, but was able to stand up. This is later the day he had pain in his neck. He was putting ice on his neck.
Nigga, no one's putting ice on a punctured brainstem. Come on.
Like I was hearing Dad's true voice. At last.
Nigga capped y'all your whole life. Well, not your whole life. For the past 16 years. So about half your life.
I woke in great pain down my neck. Like a screwdriver stuck in the base of my skull.
Oh shit, hold up.
When I close my eyes, there's lightning in my head.
Oh shit, he's kind of writing about the same shit he was saying. Is he not a cop?
I'm having a lot of trouble remembering what I'm doing. Even shaving and showering took a lot of thought as to what was the next thing to do. I'm feeling very depressed by what is happening. I feel very alone and out of control. 2 days later, Dad woke up with total amnesia.
He is attempting unconsciously to be reborn so that his life may be started anew. This level of amnesia is a drastic, even, what's that word? Draconian?
I can't say.
It's calling it draconian.
Yeah, draconian psychic mechanism.
That nigga's in a fugue state. Like Walter White. He's a fugue.
The courthouse file also contained 2 medical evaluations that took me days to digest.
Bruh, that shit would piss me off. Reading every page would piss me off in a different way.
Someone so unique that not even the best doctors in the country could figure him out. But according to the
I know
reports,
why you
the diagnosis was clear from the start. The doctors ruled out any organic damage to Dad's brain.
So this nigga didn't have any brain
Diagnosed him
damage.
with a dissociative disorder. Unconsciously, Dad was trying to escape a life he'd found increasingly unrewarding.
So this nigga is a cap master, Captain Caveman, Captain Crunch. This nigga is his spirit animal is the capybara. This nigga is the king of cap. Oh my god.
And start all over again.
I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it. He got away.
But there was one hitch. Everyone he'd ever known had to be left behind.
Left them all fucking kids. What's going on? Why is that?
The doctors concurred that Dad's condition was potentially treatable with intense psychotherapy, antidepressants, and the support of his family.
He was not
Within 2 to 3 years, his memories would return, and the old and new Richards would merge into one. So why didn't it happen?
Because he didn't want to do that. He wanted to try that shit.
That's what I'd like to know. Yeah. I mean, if he's so happy where he is and likes where he is, even if he did remember things, he may not want to come back. He may not want to tell anybody.
That's fucking cold, bro. That's so fucking cold. She going through it.
And this movie on Mommy and then
I just can't believe that he would have wanted all this.
I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad. But I don't know. I guess he's a totally different person than I thought he was. Then again, maybe he's exactly what I always really knew he was.
Damn.
Guess we all want our dads to be a hero.
She always did this nigga wanting shit. Well, he was beating the fuck out of
And
your mom and
sometimes they're
your
just
brothers and
incredibly fragile and incredibly human.
Damn, she going through it. This is fucked up. He traumatized all these fucking
And
people.
incredibly disappointed.
Man, that shit getting in my chest. And she making me sad, bruh. She going through it because this nigga ain't shit.
I know you can see your breath.
Is
It's
that
gonna
cold?
be fine. It'll be good.
What about that? What is going on?
Interesting.
It's the middle of the day. Why is it that
Work
cold?
everything out. See how it's gonna
Thanks
go.
for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Don't take me nowhere I can see my breath. If it's that cold outside, I don't want to be there.
And let us know if we can do anything to help with this, okay?
I mean, unless you like
And Anne's
snowboard
right. Don't
and
let
some
it
shit.
eat you up. Don't let it destroy you,
I'm just
okay?
not trying to kick it in the cold.
Don't
like that.
destroy me. It just kind of can't quite get out of my system.
Well, I think he needs to be approached. All we can do is confront him. You know, I mean, that's the one thing we've never done. Yeah.
I've tried to be polite and non-confrontational, and maybe it's time to.
They about to tough talk this nigga. They about to tough talk this nigga. They about to pull up on his ass. They about to spin up black on their father and be like, nigga, you fake. You cap. You not really an amnesia nigga.
Be a bit of
Maybe
an
it's
ass.
time to just say, you know, I'm not trying to be mean. You have nothing to lose. I'm not
'cause
trying
that
to
email
invade
kinda
your
shut you
privacy.
out.
No, I'm trying to be mean, nigga.
You know,
I'm
you're
trying
not
to
the
be
only
mean,
person
nigga.
who was affected by this. In fact, you may have had the easiest
easiest time with all of this.
Probably, yeah.
Out of, because you don't have to
the
deal
memories.
with, you don't have the memories. And how convenient, because the rest of us do, and you have no idea what that does to you on a daily basis to just have that
just
coming
looking at them
back
like
to you all
strangers
the
type shit.
time, and how hard it is to see you, and see that you physically the same person, only older, but emotionally just nowhere near the same.
I tried talking Anna Jan into going up to Oregon.
But yeah, he probably did have the easiest version of it. Even if he did have amnesia, he did have definitely the easiest go through of it. Cause like he just don't remember shit, and like don't know these fucking people. And honestly, from that perspective, why you tripping, my nigga? Like who are you to be telling me this shit or acting like this? Why are you in my face acting like I owe you this shit? Like why you tripping, my nigga? Quit it. Stop. Just stop. And from that perspective, he right, but like he wrong. So you gotta understand that even if you don't remember these people, it's kind of only to try and remember these people. You have to be a part of these people's lives, type shit.
With me for family intervention, but they couldn't get away. So I head back up to San Francisco to fetch Justin. For years, we've been talking about going up to see Dad together.
They just
we couldn't
slide
wait any
on his
longer.
ass. They just gonna slide on his ass for
Hey,
real.
he's an old man, you know what I mean? He's okay with where he's at finally. I mean, and you want to go and shove him around emotionally because you don't feel...
I don't know about her whole
What?
perspective.
Because you don't feel comfortable? Because you don't feel closure? Because what? Because you want some answers? You've gotten all those. You're not going to get anything different, right? You want him to feel bad? You want him to fucking hurt? What is it that you want from him?
More than he's given so far.
Well, he's given all that he can. Haven't you seen that?
No, he's not.
All that he's ready to give. You know what I mean? You put so much in. You give him so much
I'm not gonna live my fucking life according to his fucking time.
Well, you have to.
No, fuck
You're
that.
giving him so much fucking power, Justin.
Well, he's had it on his fucking time for way too long.
Yeah, Justin's up with that shit.
But it's
Justin's
not
tired
up
of
to
that
you
shit.
to tell him when he fucking...
No, but I can fucking bug the shit out of him. Maybe
but
that'll
that doesn't
fucking
help,
work. I don't know if
anything.
it'll fucking work, dude. Why the fuck are you arguing with me?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just
You are
saying.
arguing with him.
You're pushing for something that's out of your hands.
She's right
Yeah,
there
well,
at a certain point, but he gotta
I
try.
don't really have any other choice, dude.
You do. You have...
What? Just keep doing it the way I've been doing it before?
No,
Just not
Justin.
deal with it? Just be pissed off?
No, sweetheart.
Now, what do you want him to do?
Control over his head.
What do you want him to do?
And no matter what he does in life,
clearly is fucking with him, and he wants to
it's
address
not up
it.
to you. It doesn't fucking... It shouldn't control you. It shouldn't determine where you stand in life.
It doesn't. It just fucks with him, cause his dad is not his dad. And like, as far as he concerned, this nigga did it on purpose. He capped. And he gotta deal with his trauma, and the only way he can is by confronting it right now, cause he looks like he can't afford therapy and shit. Like he had developed a drug addiction because of the situation. And you gonna tell him you read his
Just
fucking
remember
writing.
that whether we agree with Richard's new life or not, he's still entitled to it. He's still entitled to peace and happiness. And if this is the way he found it, it really sucks because it caused so much pain. But causing him pain isn't gonna make any of
That's not gonna make shit right.
the rest of our pain go away.
But asking him to explain won't hurt. one, nigga. The Midwest. I don't know. What is it, the Midwest? Looks Midwestern. I've been out there.
Dad wasn't around when we finally rolled into town.
Oklahoma?
But his brother Larry dropped by our motel with some old photos.
Larry. Good old Larry.
He told us how he'd moved up
Larry.
to Dad's town 2 years ago to retire near his little brother. But he never made it beyond being Dad and Tracy's handyman, who was under strict orders to not talk about them, especially not to me.
Damn, he's all fucking locked down. He's like, so it's not even just like, yo, I'm trying to live my life over here. Yeah, you know, y'all still family. One, he said, stop calling me Dad. I'm Richard. That's fucked up. Two, he's like, hey, yo, you come up here and like fix my lights and shit, but like you ain't my brother, and like don't be telling people about me. Keep my name out your mouth when you talking to them fuck niggas over
there. Larry offered to show us around town. Then suddenly, Dad's car pulled up. It was Tracy. She put on her best smile, but was clearly not happy to see us filming with Larry. Were we here only to try to get Dad on camera?
Why is he afraid of the camera? Is he ducking 12 still? I mean, he shouldn't be ducking 12. He was the op. He was the one telling. He's a snitch.
Justin and I stayed up for hours, hoping Dad would call. Or had we traveled all these miles in vain? The next morning, the phone rang. It was Dad. He agreed to meet us at a nearby coffee shop, but no cameras.
No official take of it. Unless they go on
Justin and I were shocked at the sight of Dad's ravaged face.
Ravaged?
And how his once startlingly blue eyes had sunken into deep dark sockets.
Oh, dull-eyed bitch.
He'd aged decades since our last encounter, 3 years earlier.
Damn, they say bro, like, look, he's like 30
Over
years
breakfast,
older.
Dad told us some confusing story about disconnected synapses and twisted nerves in his brainstem that were wreaking havoc on his entire body. Justin and I had come to confront Dad with the doctor's reports and everything I'd learned about his amnesia. But we were both so dumbstruck at the sight of the trembling old man before us that we forgot what we'd come there for.
That's crazy. So is he not lying?
I was sure Justin was going to attack Dad, but he never even opened his mouth. Something about seeing him again had brought Justin a kind of peace I'd never thought possible. One that still felt just out of reach.
No, I think you gotta be careful. It's too many other things going on. It can't be coincidental.
Later that day, Dad took us on a drive to his favorite lake. I was hoping he was going to open up at last. Whenever our eyes met, I could see my old dad flashing in front of me, only to disappear over and over again. Finally, I mustered up the courage to ask him one single question. Did you ever want your memory back?
Did you ever want your memory back?
Dad's face went blank as he replied, I never think about it.
And that's why he never... And they forgave this nigga, bro. And they honestly forgave this nigga, bro. do you think this nigga was a cap? 'Cause I think this nigga was cap, bro. Like, I think he got amnesia. No, I don't think he got amnesia. I don't think he got amnesia. Hell no. Hell no. Hold on, we gotta do some research, bro. Wait, how long? What the fuck? What the fuck? This is about weed. Oh no, stop it. This is not what I'm talking about. See, cause this shit ain't even got no start time. I think amnesia just starts when you get the head injury, like you develop the amnesia from the head injury, not 2 weeks later. And then he said he started writing the diary the day of, and didn't go to the doctor when he said he felt the sharp piercing pain. But and then his mom said there was a. I think this nigga was cop, bro. I think this nigga had an idea and was like, yo, I'm about it, this motherfucker type shit. I think this nigga was a cop. But that's still gonna be the end of this stream. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I'll be back and we're gonna look at this dude who has 40 kids with 20 women and can't remember the names and shit. It's another Only Human video. And then we're gonna watch the one about the girl with SpongeBob and shit. You feel me? Thanks for rocking with me for this almost another 2-hour stream on this lovely night. Appreciate y'all.